impacting lives, building leaders all around the world. Let us keep our dreams alive, cause tomorrow's gonna be a better day.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Kecton World Youth Network, the podcast where we connect with young leaders and voices from around the globe. Today, we have a very special guest joining us all the way from Sri Lanka, Cojitha Senanayake. Koji, can you introduce yourself quickly to the listeners who are waiting for your introduction?
Well, thanks, Ashwathy. Thank you so much for the introduction. Hi, everyone. I'm Cojitha Senanayake, and I just turned 18 a couple of days ago. And I'm from Colombo, Sri Lanka.
So, listeners, as you would have guessed, this is not a usual podcast where we talk about the realities of what's happening on ground. But today, this is quite different. And we have a young leader joining us from Sri Lanka. And the reason why we are having this podcast with Koji is because Koji is a quite accomplished entrepreneur, young teen entrepreneur coming in from Sri Lanka. It's not always that we get to meet teen entrepreneurs. And here, Koji is joining us to share his unique story. How wonderful it is to actually listen to young leaders who have made it all, juggling with studies, school, and everything that every one of us does, but still manage to build a company, an organization, and become quite accomplished in that as well. I've been inspired by Koji's story, and that's what we are aiming today. You will have a very good time listening into how Koji has built his organization and all the new things that he needs. He is here to share with you. So, Koji, I would like to ask you what everyone would be wondering right now. You're just 18 right now, still in school and working on such a big issue. How did this journey begin? And I know for the listeners' sake, Koji, you probably will have to give us a backstory on what you're doing, what's the cause that you're working on, the organization's name, etc. Because I've not revealed all of that to the listeners. But I can tell you guys, he is working in the area of ocean sustainability. And over to you, Koji. How did it all begin? What's the story of your whole entrepreneurial journey?
Well, let me break this down first. My journey first began when I started doing small day-to-day actions to help the planet. For instance, I started avoiding the use of laundry detergents when I washed my clothes and shifted to using eco-friendly alternatives like baking soda and white vinegar to take off any stains, because I realized that certain chemicals in detergents harm our waterways. Then when it comes to giving gifts, I thought I'd make my own so that gifts can be handmade and personal if possible. So then what I did was I turned discarded items into useful objects, which I then gifted to my family and friends. For instance, I collect discarded single-use plastic bottles, clean them, decorate them, and turn them into utility holders and flower pots. And I'm proud to say that the people who have received these handmade gifts said that they loved it. So yeah, I was very happy about that. But similarly, I buy certain second-hand items as it saves resources. For instance, some of the textbooks I require for school and some storybooks and other kinds of books I wish to read were purchased from second-hand bookstores. And I've donated items in good condition such as toys, books, school bags, and clothes to families that require them more than I do. After starting off with simple actions like this, then I turned to climate advocacy, and that led to my project Sea Green. So that's about it.
Thank you so much. So yes, Sea Green, that's the company that Koji is building. And when did you start this, Koji? 2023, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes, I started Sea Green in 2023. Yeah.
23, yes. So your idea is that any small step, any small action that you can do adds up to the bigger picture, right?
Absolutely.
Great. So what stage are you right now? How would you call yourself? Are you in the startup stage or have you started big projects? What do you do on a day-to-day basis?
Well, once I launched Sea Green, I wrote 2 books, both focusing on conservation and climate awareness as their theme. One for very young children and the other for the youth. I also designed and produced 3 jigsaw puzzles and a board game called Seascapes, which combines the teaching of English with funny puns and phrases while building knowledge of the ocean. All of this was done to bring about environmental awareness and appreciation of nature in the young and the young at heart. This project also helps children who may not have access to many resources on conservation due to the unavailability of age-appropriate reading material on climate change. And I distributed these books digitally and free of charge through our school's General Knowledge Society, and around 10,000 of children can access it if they wish. I also converted these books to Braille and donated it to the Deaf and Blind School of Rathmalana.
Wow. I mean, I'm so proud of you, seriously. But what we've achieved in such a short age. I mean, thinking about my 18-year-old myself, I don't think I had the world knowledge to do so much. So listeners, the books that Koji has written, Myrtle, I'm giving it over to you both. What are the titles of both your books, Koji?
Well, one is ABCs of Climate Change. That's the one catered to older children. And Myrtle, Burble, and the Green Thing was the one I wrote for like very small kids because I thought that can get them interested in climate awareness at like an extremely young age. And also it teaches like the dangers of plastic. So I thought that would be beneficial for them to learn at that kind of age, which I wasn't exposed to at the age of 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm. Very good thought. Actually, that the thought process that goes behind writing books and giving awareness through written material is really noble. And Koji, is it available online? Is there a way to get hold of these digital copies for the listeners?
Well, not yet, but digitally it's available. And eventually I'm planning on converting this online.
That's good. We'll wait for that. We'll wait for an update from you, Koji, on that. And I also want to ask you, one more thing about the jigsaw puzzle that you designed. It's called Seascape, right? So Sea Green has Seascape as the jigsaw puzzle. Can you like briefly describe what was the thought process that went behind it, and how does it actually translate to the mission that you're working on?
Actually, truth be told, Seascapes is the board game I designed. So the jigsaw puzzles were like a bit different. There were 3 types of jigsaw puzzles. One about land, one about air, and one about the ocean. But Seascapes was the board game I designed. That's the one that children can like play. And I mean, obviously adults can play as well, but catered to children also because, when you're at like such a young age, you're like a sponge, right? So you absorb those things. So my goal was by creating Seascape that people can have fun while learning about the environment simultaneously.
I mean, that's such a creative thought that you have there. I myself, as an entrepreneur working in the edtech space, I know that like gamifying knowledge and gamifying awareness and learning usually goes a long way, especially when you're dealing with young adults. And like for me, my journey has been working as an adult, building such platforms for younger people. But you, as a young person, I know you will understand their perspectives quite clearly. You will know exactly what people of your age and younger really wants at this stage. So I can really envision that how effective your designs and creatives would be to really put across your thoughts. So, I mean, that's really a cool thing that you're doing, which makes me think about something else. At this age, 18, and I know you were even younger when you actually started out Sea Green. So at this age, when most people are quite focused on schools, exams worry us, hobbies are something that takes our time, TV takes our time. I mean, it's not TV anymore, but it's all the OTT platforms. But what made you choose this path of entrepreneurship? It's quite hard. As an entrepreneur for the past 5 years, it's not an easy job. But what made you choose this path?
Well, I do focus on school and exams, and I also engage in hobbies like listening to music, watching movies, and going out with my friends. But at the same time, I also want to do my part to make the world a little bit better than I found it. And I think, as Mahatma Gandhi once said, you have to be the change you want to see.
Wow. Yeah, you are really a personification of that message. I can see.
Thank you, but no.
Yeah, and is there a particular moment or something that sparked this whole journey? Like, was there that moment where you had that epiphany, or any story or anecdotes that you can share that sparked you or pushed you in this journey?
Well, when I was 9, I saw a turtle who had died after suffocating on a plastic bag.
Mhm.
And I was really upset about that, especially because I have always loved animals. I would say probably because I grew up with like dogs, cats, and like different kinds of fish as well. So I think since I've always interacted with animals, that sense of caring for them more than just seeing them as for human purposes, I think I always cared for animals.
Yeah.
Because, yeah,
That's very good. Yeah, I mean, animals and pets usually create a lot of love and space in our life. But the turtle, you actually saw the turtle in a random space, right? Not your pet turtle, I guess. Or did you adopt turtle?
well, no, that was actually I saw him on the beach, which was very close to my home. Like he was washed up, and it was like really close to my home. It was like 5 minutes away. So since I lived close by, it
Okay.
was like I went to the beach and I saw him, and I just felt so bad.
Yeah. There's always this moment that really defines what you do later, right? Sometimes we just don't realize that this is the turning point that's happening right now, but there's always that moment. And, this totally fits into your journey. I can see that. And for listeners, Sri Lanka is a coastal country, it's surrounded by beaches all around. One of the most beautiful places to visit if you have not been to Sri Lanka. And it's only quite logical that someone from Sri Lanka really feels for the ocean and the animals in the ocean, because that's very much part of your life, right, Koji?
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot. It's actually really ingrained in me because I would say even my mom loves to go to the beach. So I think as a and my friends also love to go to the beach actually. So I think from like kindergarten or maybe even younger than that,
Yeah.
I've always been at the beach.
Yeah. I mean, like for anyone in Sri Lanka beach, you can't escape the beach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And also, my school is actually neighboring the beach. It's called school. It's another name for it is school by the sea because it's right next to the beach. If you're jumping school, literally all you have to do is jump the wall. That's it.
You can literally find yourself on the beach.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, now I understand what's the real. The background, the stories from the beach, the empathy gets ingrained in you, and that's how you really start building for things that are surrounding you. And you see the problem, you empathize with it, and you know so much about these problems that you actually start solving it, and you are the right person to solve it too. So,
Thank you. Thank
yeah.
you.
One thing I know from our interaction before the podcast, so yes, listeners, we had a small conversation before, just so that I also understand a lot about Koji's background. Something that I realized is you have a very unique approach, and something that even the listeners would have probably realized by now. Like writing books, creating puzzles, board games, and whatnot. So I understand that advocacy for you is not just environmental advocacy in terms of policy or setting right what's wrong, but it's you have a very creative approach to it. Like you are applying creative arts, right? Tell us about it. Why did you choose it, and how does that come naturally to you? What's your creative flair like?
Okay, so first I'm going to break this down. I believe the creative arts are underutilized in the fight against climate change. However, arts, quizzes, and games make a serious topic, such as climate action, appealing to the very young. It is then that younger people become incentivized. Basically, younger people are incentivized into action because their interest has been fostered. And moreover, I believe that if we can make climate awareness as serious as the topic is, into something fun and enjoyable, it will garner the attention of more young people. And yes, people have responded positively directly as a result of this project. And I have noticed many children publicly speaking about the environment, engaging in beach cleanups, and doing their best to live in a more sustainable manner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Seriously interesting. So, how did you get your friends involved, or like, was this creative flair your own ingrained things, or did any friends, teachers, or school environment, parents influence this creative, that the creative flair that you have?
Well, I would say it's like more than things like that. I think it's the extracurriculars I do in school because I'm part of the Gavel Club, and I would say people in that club, when I was telling them about my journey, they were like really interested to do something as well. So they also wanted to help out. So that's, I think they also played, like they made speeches and made a certain contribution to this journey.
So when we say creative, Koji is also part of the drama club, right?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yeah, I mean, the wide spectrum of creative outlets that Koji is involved with is absolutely insane. So that's what we are seeing in his entrepreneurial journey too. And I mean, I really appreciate how you articulated that, especially creative means are not used inside the environment advocacy umbrella. You have like figured that out very well. When adults and bigger people actually solve for these problems, they look at very black and white ways to solve it. But when younger blood comes into the mix, that's when creative outlets and really innovative ways of solving small problems and big problems come into place. And so speaking of that, I started my entrepreneurial journey when I was 25. So I would still be called a young entrepreneur, but not a teen entrepreneur, right? Unlike you. So how has it been to be a teen entrepreneur? What was the hardest part about being an entrepreneur? And what was the best part about being a teen entrepreneur?
I would say the hardest part is actually that people still seem to see environmental conservation as a supplementary activity rather than an essential one. But the best part about this is being able to like make a positive difference to the community while enjoying yourself as well.
Wow. Okay. So what was the best part?
Yeah, the best part I would say was being able to make that positive difference to the community.
Are you a superstar in school? I want to ask you that. Are you a superstar in school?
No, not at all. I'm just a normal person.
I'm not sure about that. You really seem to be a superstar.
No.
Yes, but no, I sorry I interrupted you. You were saying about the best part being that you really get to make an impact, right?
Yeah, and also you enjoy yourself. So while you're making impact, if you can enjoy yourself, I would say that's like the best combination you can have.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, have you noticed that there is a special advantage being young? Like for me, what I'm thinking is you've started out very young, that you have so much more time in your hand to learn, fail, etc. But that's just my perspective. Do you think there is any special advantage for someone who's starting out young as a teen entrepreneur?
Uh, Actually, I think one of the advantages of being young is we can see the world in a perspective that I would say most young people see. I would say the eyes of us and the eyes of people older are like different. And our eyes, I would say we are filled with like hope that we can do something to make this world a bit better than it is. But being young comes with its challenges too, because like we don't have as much economic resources as older people to invest in big scale projects. So that's like a difference.
Oh, yeah, I was about to ask you that. Definitely, anyone who's listening into this, especially when I interact with a lot of other people who want to be entrepreneurs, the first question that they ask is, I don't have the resources, I don't have the money, somebody needs to help me financially. So, I mean, as an adult, people think that they'll find some other means to, like maybe take a day job or maybe have some sort of income stream. But you are in school, you're still in school, and we can't expect you to do that too. But how are you? How are you balancing it all, and how are you finding the resources and putting it all together?
Well, I would say my parents have been incredibly supportive. So I think that's also something that has helped me. But I think it's a little bit of everything, right? But if I had to choose, it would probably be finding resources. But I'm proud of the fact that despite being in high school, like despite being a high school student, I started my project Sea Green with the stipend I earned by being a junior fellow at Debate Spaces. Actually, I have a meeting tomorrow. But, through the like monetary prizes I won by entering various writing contests, and through the birthday gifts I received from my family.
Wow. And do you also have any grants or something that you can get from the government?
No, no, I haven't
Like,
applied. I mean, there's a possibility that they actually. I'm not really sure. I think you can, but it's not done. I've not done it, I would say.
yeah. Maybe there is, I mean, like, especially now that you just turned 18, you probably will qualify for a lot of these things if it exists. There are also a lot of international funds that are available. Student grants, like if when you're still a student, you can get those kind of grants where student entrepreneurial organizations are funded through, like grants that does not take any share or percentage from your company. So there are so many avenues that you can actually, uh, look at, research, and find out. But having said all of this, what is that one thing that you learned from doing an entrepreneurial journey that is quite unique? Like your friends are not doing it, your school doesn't teach it. What's that one thing you feel you have gained that none of your classmates have, or just if you look at your own journey, what is that one thing that is quite different from others just because you became an entrepreneur?
I mean, I would say one thing is I mean, I have learned from my friends and my environment as well, like different sorts of skills, like to not give up, and like it's very cliche, but yeah, I've learned a lot of things from them, like perseverance, this, and etc. But I think the biggest lesson this journey has shown me is start small but dream big, and don't take anything personally, and don't take anything personally. Just move towards your goal without like hurting anyone in the process. I think that's the main thing.
Man, really, that's beautiful. That's so good. That's so good. Yeah, I mean, all of the things, even though the perseverance part and all that, which you felt cliche, but no, I mean, you're learning that from raw realities of life, and that's really amazing. And what you just said right now, it's giving me goosebumps. Seriously, man. And okay, so how is Sri Lanka as a country? And but quite some time back, we did have a speaker who was a Kettle colleague joining in from Sri Lanka, speaking about the political situations there, the environmental situations there. But you, as an entrepreneur, keeping aside everything else, how are you finding it building in Sri Lanka? Like for someone who wants to come and start a company, or if any Sri Lankan colleagues from Kettle family is listening in, what's your take on building a company in Sri Lanka?
I think I think the best part about building my organization in Sri Lanka is that we had an environmentally friendly way of life earlier where like organic farming, reusing items, and sustainable packaging was the order of the day. And we just have to find a way to incorporate those today to like meet the growing demand and the increasing convenience that people now require. On the other hand, I think the hardest part is that most people in Sri Lanka face some kind of economic hardship. They want to concentrate on alleviating that solely.
Okay. So, is there any challenges building in your in your country? Like any challenges that you faced?
Challenges, the I would say the biggest challenge that most people are not that bothered about the environment, but I don't blame them. It's because they don't have like the lack of like they have no time, I would say, basically. And
The priorities are different, probably, right?
yes, exactly, because some people have like extreme poverty, and I would say that then environmental awareness does not become the primary focus for them.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, for them, it's their priorities and the needs of the day are quite different, and they probably would not have the same mindset to focus on these. But that's what young leaders are for, right? That's step in. So, as a future leader, is this the main thing that you want to change? Like, is this the mindset that you are focusing on changing?
Well, I would say yes. I would say yes because I'd like to go hand in hand with economic development and environmental awareness.
Okay. And Are there opportunities for young people like you to do that? Like, would they actually stop and listen to you, or would they would it need a lot more work? How do you imagine your journey? Like creating that mindset shift. How do you think it would be?
I would say people do listen. People do listen. People do accept and understand the issues, especially after a person goes out and addresses these issues. I would say people get motivated because I would say everyone to a certain degree cares about the environment and cares about ocean awareness, but sometimes they just don't have the time and resources to focus on this.
Okay. So, what do you see? How do you see your organization growing, or what do you see your organization doing in the next 5 to 10 years? I know you just started; it's just been 2 years, right? Almost 2 years.
Yes.
But how is the journey, or what are you going to do next in terms of your organization?
I mean, I hope Sea Green can expand its activities and cater to a large demographic, maybe even globally.
Okay. So, any countries that you have in mind where you want to expand first? Like, is there a wish list?
Well, not I haven't really thought about that, but I want to expand it. I know that for sure.
Yeah. I think almost all the Southeast Asian countries are ocean bound, and I realize that there is so much work that needs to be done here, and people like you and your presence is much needed in Southeast Asia. But I'm not saying that the West is any safer. The oceans are not any safer. So I guess you really are needed globally. So it's just a matter of time before Koji becomes global, and I really wish that we.
Let's hope. Let's only hope. Cross fingers.
So, what's your plan for higher studies? What's personally what's next for you?
Well, for higher studies, I want to go to university and to like both do environmental awareness simultaneously drama, because drama is also a primary passion of mine. So I would say balancing those two things would be my primary priority. And I would like to make a film about the environment as well at some point.
Wow. Okay. So, pursuing drama film as a way of creative means of raising awareness. That's the two most that's how you're going to actually change the whole tangent of environment sustainability is what I'm understanding.
As I said, cross fingers, and that's like what I hope to do.
No, you also said, right? Dream big.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Start small, dream big.
Yes. Start small, dream big. And how do you see yourself as a student? You will be a student for a couple of more years too, right, into the future. How do you see yourself balancing all of this? Are you already doing it and you feel that you will ace it, or is there any strategy in mind? Now, the whole idea of me asking this question is because we will have a lot of students who are listening in, and they probably I'm asking this question on their behalf, just to have a glimpse on how do you do it personally, so that they can take away something and they can also do it in their personal lives.
Well, I think I will be able to manage both if I practice time management and prioritize tasks efficiently. Simultaneously, I have to balance short-term goals with long-term ones. And I think being a student, whether in a formal environment or not, helps you open your mind and learn new things which are critical for any organization.
Okay. So, I mean, like evenings of your time, I'm just trying to map it out. Do you spend more time during the weekends, or is it the evenings that you spend more time on the organization? Or is it studies, or how do you usually manage it?
I think what like for during weekends, I would say I have more time, but during weekdays, that doesn't mean I deprioritize my organization. That just means that the time I allocate for during the weekdays are like 1 hour, while the time I allocate during weekends are like 2 hours, or no, not 2 hours actually, like 3 hours maybe.
Okay. So, for the listeners, there are like quite a lot of achievements that has already done for his organization. And in fact, Sherry out Koji at Paris Collaborative pitching idea pitching competition, right, Koji?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and also he'll be joining us at Kektil in the 2025-26 cohort. He'll be one of the youngest participants that we'll have. And we are so much looking forward to having him join the Kektil colleague and the Kektil family when we start the cohort in January. We're so looking forward to it, Koji.
I'm so thankful to the Paris Collaborative and also to Kektil Podcast and for Kektil overall for doing this. It's just a great honor. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So Sherry had pointed out that these are young and very enterprising young people who should be in Kektil Network, and that's what we are also looking forward to. So Koji, just like Paris Collaborative, and Paris Collaborative paved the way for you joining the Kektil Network, where else do you find such opportunities? Like, is there a method by which you search for such opportunities, or do they just come to you? How is it usually?
Well, I would say what I generally do
Mm-hmm.
is basically I joined the world. Oh, just give me a second. I'm sorry. Give me a sec. I joined the World Ocean Day, which was really helpful. And there were like little organizations. One was called Global Green and stuff like that. I would say just by researching and networking was the primary way that I did manage to find these opportunities, and I hope to find many more.
Networking and researching, right? So yes, listeners, that's the key takeaway. Networking and researching. You have to find certain things, and some of these opportunities come your way when you are in the right network. And I think in terms of that, Kektil will also help you a lot in terms of that network that will bring in a lot of opportunities, because we have a huge diaspora of people in our network. Kektil has been around for almost 10 years now. So some of us are very grown up adults, and some of the colleagues are quite young and coming from all around the world, doing a lot of insane things. And we've all been inspired by the kind of things that people do at Kektil, and you will be one of them, those inspiring young people. So there will be a lot of other people that you can look up to and learn from, interact within just our network. So that will probably just open your gates to a very global network, just within Kektil itself. So
My God, I'm just looking forward to this. I'm
Yeah.
so looking forward to this. That's all I can say.
Same, us too. So, okay, Koji, how do you imagine yourself as a 30-year-old? What would you be doing?
As a 30-year-old,
Yeah.
that's like how many years more now? I think
A
that's
lot of time.
that's
Yeah,
12
so-
years. 12 years.
Yeah.
As a 30-year-old, I believe I'll be doing the same thing, really. That's what I think I'll probably be doing. And maybe making movies, which I really enjoy, about the environment. So I think that's one thing I'd really like to enjoy. And yeah, I think that's what I'd be doing.
Okay. Is there any personality or someone who inspires you in the space, either in ocean sustainability or in the creative space of creating movies? Any personalities or people who has inspired you to do
Well,
this?
I would say listen to Ashwathy, who addressed our environmental club in school one day. And I found her story as the first female marine biologist in Sri Lanka fascinating.
Oh, okay. Can you repeat that name again?
Dr. Ashwathy.
Oh, wow. Okay. Listeners, that's something that you have to Google now.
Yes.
Yeah. There's always this one person who does some work or some, really, really impactful things that trigger us to think differently, right? It may come in the form of really cool people, very famous people, or maybe it's just the person who's sitting next to us. We never know where inspiration comes from, but I'm really happy that you found that person to look up to. It's always good to really have that idea on how somebody else has done it, how somebody else has aced it, and what can you learn from it, and what can you not repeat in terms of any mistakes or those kind of things. So it's always good to have a mentor. I would say reach out, make the person your mentor too, because that's also how you can grow your organization.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I think we are almost coming to an end of our podcast, but there are like some things that I want to know about your perspectives. What is something that young people do not understand, but should really understand about the ocean crisis? I heard you say that many people do not prioritize it, and it's not just about people, like adults or people in the country or in living in the ocean near the oceans, but young people who are the future of everyone, each and every country, what should they know about the ocean crisis?
I think we only know very little about the ocean and its ecosystems, despite the ocean covering over like 70% of the earth and being Earth's largest carbon sink. So I wish young people could see its importance despite it being largely unexplored so far.
Okay. And ocean crisis is real, right?
Oh, yeah, it's real.
It is real. And, entrepreneurship, the main reason why we are even speaking, why do you think young people should consider starting an enterprise or even a project while they are in school? Why should they do that? What was your reason and why should they do that too?
Well, I think personally, more young people should engage in starting enterprises because you can like learn from peers so much practically through this. For instance, we learn how to plan, budget, and record activities, how to interact with different types of people, and how to practice resilience and positivity when faced with like challenges, which I think are integral to our growth.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure anyone who's listening in really would feel like getting up and getting some things done, and I'm sure that's usually how we feel after listening into voices of young people, and the podcast usually creates that spark of energy in people, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people, will take all the lessons that we heard from Koji's experience and utilize it in their own lives. And we also have in when the Kectal program starts, one of our modules or the assignments are on entrepreneurship. So that's also one other space that you will be able to really utilize and make all these into practice, put it all into practice. And we also have started doing projects. That's another outing of Kectal. So all of this will come together, and I'm pretty sure that the spark of energy that Koji has given to you right now, there is space for you to get up and start doing right now, right, Koji?
Definitely.
So what's your message for colleagues and all the listeners coming in from Sri Lanka?
I would say it's my quote: start small, dream big. At the end of the day, you're young, but you're young enough.
Yeah, you'll be young enough. Wow. I guess, I mean, that's your message for everyone around the world, right? Not just Sri Lanka. Start small and dream big, and you are young enough. Wow.
Yeah, I would say that's that. And I would say also we can make this world like better than we found it.
Beautiful. Yes, I guess the new generation, all the past generations have actually given us a humongous task of setting a lot of things right. There were a lot of wrongs that were done in terms of environment, in terms of ocean, sand, air. There is so much for each one of us to do. It may be just around us, but it may also involve other animals in the ocean, on air, in land. So we need more Kojis. We need a lot of people to join hands with Koji and join into this whole mission of setting things right in this planet. Thanks a lot, Koji. You've inspired me. You have inspired me a lot.
No. You have inspired me too.
Thank you. But starting small has its advantages, and people like you with impact in your mind at this young age, I can only imagine the bigger and better things that you will be able to do in the coming years. Wishing you all the very best, Koji. I mean, there's so much that needs to be done, and there's so long that you have to also go ahead in your life. So all the best, and we wish you an amazing journey in your entrepreneurial outing, as well as have lots of fun with the Kectal Network when you join in. So this has been such an insightful conversation, and thank you, Koji, again for sharing your perspectives and experiences with us today. And listeners, as I always say, it's quite crucial for you to listen in to young people and their inspiring voices who are probably just like you, but from some other country or living in a different, like a different setting. Their perspectives can change your life too. So wishing all the very best to Koji. And thank you all for listening into the Cocktail World Youth Network podcast today. Bye-bye.
And thank you so much for this opportunity. Bye.
Thank you, Lord Koji. Bye-bye.